Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Now, tonight I'm going to be starting a new series, The Thin Blue Line, and that might be confusing for some of you because, for some reason, a couple of months ago, when mentioning how my dad sometimes suggests shows for me to do on the channel, I said that he suggested this, and I told him no because I'd seen it before. But the thing is, I haven't. I've seen bits of it. I don't know why I thought I'd seen it, but I haven't seen it in the sense that I've actually sat down, pressed play on it, you know, sort it out, sat down, watched it all the way through. I've seen it playing on his telly, I've seen it playing on the telly at my grandparents', I've seen clips of it, but I've not sat down and been like, right, I'm going to watch Series 1, I'm going to binge Series 1 right now. I haven't done that. So, I'm going to do the series properly. Okay? No doubt I'll remember bits, but hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I know I haven't watched the whole thing. I haven't. I've never sat down and watched a full episode. Let's put it that way. So, yeah. It's a good excuse to start a new series. I don't know why I thought I'd seen this all the way through, or seen it properly. Don't know why I can't think of any other series similar to it. You know, like the actors, what it's about. I know it's about the police, the actors, you know, James Dreyfus, Rowan Atkinson, etc. But anyway, never mind all that. Let's just get into it and enjoy it. Play, bastard. Patrick. Ben Owen. He did a lot of good shows, didn't he?
Right, that concludes this morning's briefing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And never forget that in the grand order of life, there are but two forces. Those of order and those of chaos. And between them, there lies us, the thin blue line.
So that's three forces then?
Two forces, Constable Goody, as I've explained. The forces of order and of chaos.
Yes, and us in the middle, the police force.
Yes, I think we'd better pick this up again later. You're all due out of
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear, Raymond, why do you blue bottles bother? The uniformed constable is obsolete, extinct, like the doo-doo.
Doo-doo? You mean...
Computers, sir. That's where
The
it's all
dodo.
rocking, innit, eh? That's right, Cray. In the shadowy, electronic alleyways of the internet, a new type of villain lurks. Right.
True.
How is our investigation into stolen credit cards going? All in the computer, sir. The way to stop credit...
Actually, if you think about it, computers and the internet have made so many different crimes and criminal enterprises so much easier. Credit card fraud, identity theft, pedophilia. Just think about what the internet has done for criminals and the criminal industry. It's made so many different types of crimes, organised or otherwise, so much easier to commit. So he's got a point.
Cards being stolen is for people to take care of their property. I'd like to meet the man who could get inside my trousers. What is more, my officers are far from being doo-doos, or indeed dodos. They are, in fact, first-rate, keen of eye, swift of thought, and regular of bowel. They don't need computers to solve crimes because they have brains, Grim, remember them? Bobby's best friend is his brain.
Well, it's pretty clear. You got in through the window.
Really?
Of course. The window was broken after the villains gained entry. Broken from within.
You mean an inside job?
Well, you've got to admit it would all fit.
What? Did he rob his own flat?
Exactly. Insurance claim, Maggie. It's a nice little note.
All the glass is on the inside, Kevin. Do you reckon that after he smashed it, he went outside, picked up all the bits...
It's possible.
It's possible!
His fingers are cut up. We've got our man.
Get your note, Kevin.
Hold on. just remembered, I was going to do the next episode of Mind Your Language, but the sound wasn't working properly. So I made my box a bit bigger. So I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. Here we go.
Now then, sir, I know you're upset.
Whoops.
Can you give us some idea of what's been taken and their value?
What's been taken? My self-respect, my peace of mind, my sense of well-being.
Could you describe these items, please, sir?
Look at that! Like he's onto something.
They are beyond value.
Told you, mega insurance claim.
And what are you not going to do? This has ruined my life.
Well, we'll do our best, sir, but the clear-up rate for burglars is so...
I don't know why I even bothered calling you lot out. You're about as much use as a tin tack in a jockstrap.
Name,
Can't remember.
Mr. R. So.
I mean, the bloke was devastated. Everything he had been defiled. Photos smashed, clothes torn. They even did a whoopsie in his goldfish bowl. And there's nothing we can do.
You can fish it out.
No, thank you.
You've got to learn to walk away. There's more to life than being a copper.
I don't know how you can say that. You're virtually married to the force going out with Inspector Fowler. He doesn't care about anything but the police. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. I didn't mean that...
I know very well what you meant, Maggie. And you're wrong. Raymond has a deep and romantic soul.
I think I've got a slow puncture.
Oh, really?
Ah, well, another evening spread out on the kitchen table, wrestling with my inner tube.
We've been together 10 years, Maggie. It can't all be candlelit dinner jars of Vaseline and double-jointed sexual gymnastics.
My turn to cook tonight, I think, darling. I thought I might make rissoles.
Actually,
I love
tomorrow's
Rowan.
the 10th anniversary of our relationship, and I'm going to surprise him with a special
Rissoles.
Perhaps a nice bit of bloater.
Bloater.
Wake up, Raymond. Breakfast.
What? Oh, bless my twinkling stars, Patricia.
Bless my twinkling stars.
Coffee?
Coffee?
Toast?
Toast?
Or something which at some point has certainly been
Oh.
and scrambled egg.
Well, no, at some point it was bread, but now it's charcoal.
Not mistaken.
You are. I'm afraid it's a waffle.
How bad at cooking do you have to be if you can make something and then the person who you've made it for thinks it's scrambled egg, but it's actually a waffle?
People worry too much about how food looks. I mean, what's it going to look like after it's worked its way through 28 feet of small intestine?
A damn sight better than that toast.
Well, quite.
Well, quite.
Perhaps a smidgen too much salt.
There isn't any salt in it.
I'm afraid there is.
Well, in that case, I put sugar on your bacon and eggs. Those Habitat serving jars I put everything in. You can't tell one thing from another.
Well, I can never force much down in the morning anyway. Except perhaps a cup of coffee.
Well, it's only...
That's why, because sugar and salt look exactly the same, that's why the sugar jar should always be directly next to the kettle with two other jars next to it with the coffee and the tea in. And the salt jar should be on the other side of the kitchen or, somewhere out of the way. Like in my kitchen, the kettle's there, the bread bin's there, and there's a space there for the toaster, and then there's a cupboard directly above it with all the coffee and the sweetener and the cups, and then underneath, there's the drawer with the spoon. Yeah. You know your way around your own kitchen. Come on. Who mistakes the salt for the sugar?
Instant.
In this case, instant gravy.
All right, Uncle
With the
Albert.
serving jars, I fear, my darling. Oh, well, never mind. All in all...
It's not my fault, it's them jars. Look at them. How am I supposed to tell a
nice,
difference?
thought.
Who in the
Can't
water?
imagine what moved you to such a splendid gesture.
Can't you?
No?
No?
No, I fear not, but it's much appreciated anyway. Now, I really must rush. I have a small gift item to pick up before work.
Oh, Peachy, you did remember.
Well, of course I remembered cabbage.
Cabbage!
I always remember the important things.
Cutting edge of technology, cutting edge of fannying about. What's wrong with a biro? That's what I say. I've booted up and I've patched in. I'm online, offline, downloaded, and extremely cheesed off.
You need to integrate your power supply at source, son.
What?
Plug it in.
And so, to the topic of the day, which is...
Fuck me.
Oh, by the way,
He didn't plug it in.
For the Queen's birthday present here, shall I? About £3 a piece should cover it.
Excuse me, sir. I didn't quite catch that.
The collecting tin for the Queen's official birthday, which is next week. But of course you all knew that. We are members of Her Majesty's police force. The Queen is in effect our boss. And compared to many bosses, she is a model employer. She does not attempt to kiss the secretaries at the Christmas party.
True?
She does not insist on having the best coffee mug or hogging all the chocolate hobnobs. She's had a pretty rotten time of it of late, and I thought it'd be a nice thing to show her that she's appreciated.
Personally, I think celebrating birthdays at work is a bad idea.
Yes, well, on this occasion...
I mean, that awful business of going for a curry with people you either don't know or you don't like.
Yes, well...
And there is nothing to do but drink. So before you know it, you're doing the old elephant impression. And everyone else in the restaurant hates you because, quite frankly, they couldn't give a flying hoo-ha whether the birthday girl lives or dies.
Well, I wasn't really thinking of taking Her Majesty...
All right, Rudolph. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to be taking Lizzie out to a Bernie Inn, is it?
What's your elephant impression?
Yeah.
Well, you pull your trousers pockets inside out, you see? And then you...
I have, in fact, already taken the liberty of purchasing her a gift. A small porcelain figurine
Nice things of Gasforth.
of a young lad fishing. Well, the collecting tin is there, as I say. It's very much up to you.
I don't want to buy the Queen a present, sir. She's an antichrist.
What? An Antichrist?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, no, I mean anarchist. No. What's that word for someone who's out of date and doesn't matter anymore?
I think you mean an anachronism.
Yes, that's right. The Queen's an anachronism.
But I thought that was someone who was scared of spiders.
No, that's arachnophobic. She's an Antichrist. Then she's an anarchist. Oh, God.
It's an arachnophobic.
I thought that was a person who was scared of wide open
No, that's agoraphobic. Arachnophobic too, kind of. Although, well, no, right. Right, so if someone's arachnophobic and they see a spider, doesn't it mean that they have like a proper full-on panic attack and meltdown? I'm not that bad. I can catch a spider. You know, I can put a glass over it and, you know, underneath and throw it outside, or I can kill one if, you know, I can go that far. So that wouldn't mean I'm arachnophobic, would it? Because a person with a real phobia of spider wouldn't be able to even do that. They just want to be as far away from it as possible. Like, many a time when there's been a spider in here, I've been able, once I know it's there, I've been able to leave it for hours until it's got into a easier to reach position for me to catch it. So I'm not properly arachnophobic, am I, if I can do that? Let me know.
Well, that's agoraphobics. They can't handle going outside. Arachnophobics hate spiders.
Look, we're talking about the Queen.
Is the Queen scared of spiders?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so, but it's beginning to look that way.
Perhaps that's why she's scared to go outside.
Can you spare Habib a moment?
Yes, of course. Carry on, Constable.
Scared to go...
Thank you, darling.
Not darling. Inspector, darling.
Inspector Darling!
Sorry, I'm just so happy, so excited. Will you give it me after work?
Possibly, I don't know.
Don't spoil it. I only get one once a year and I want it to be a surprise.
No, sir. I'm afraid we haven't made any progress at all.
Oh dear.
People don't matter anymore, do they? I didn't matter to the bloke who robbed me, and I don't matter to you.
Sir, please. We really are trying.
So, pickpocketing. Come on. A crime which has traditionally been looked upon with some indulgence. We have all seen the musical Oliver, and are familiar
True.
with the images of jolly, apple-cheeked urchins in big...
That's true. In Oliver, the Fagin's boys, they are portrayed in the film as the heroes, but at the end of the day, they're horrible little criminals. Thieves that go around robbing well-to-do people of their hard-earned money and whatever. Good point.
Well, dispel this cosy impression. The Artful Dodger was a thief. And I don't think he'd have considered himself quite so at home in a juvenile detention centre, which is where I'd have put him. Thieving is thieving, and no amount of papa or boom titty titty will change that. An Englishman's pockets are his castle.
More like a pocket billiard room.
Constable Cray, there is a place for fatuous, flippant, would-be humorous inanities. And that place is on Noel's house party. Not in a police station.
Yes, sir.
Right, so let's see how it's done. Step forward, Constable Goody. Walk towards me. Oops, I do beg your pardon.
Oh, it's quite all right, sir.
Not all right for you, I fear, Goody, because I have relieved you of the contents of your pocket. In this case, a Mars bar. Constable Goody, a Mars bar is scarcely police equipment, is it?
No, sir.
No, sir, indeed, sir.
No, sir, indeed, sir.
Are there any other items of confectionery secreted about your person?
You know me, with the kind of comedy that I do on this channel, there's a lot of euphemisms involved, and that's just... that, yeah.
No, sir.
Really?
By that you mean...
Got a curly-whirly in my truncheon.
In that case, get it out before it melts and soils the Queen's trousers.
It's not going to melt, is it, sir? It's going to get eaten.
Great jangling Jehovah, it is not. I've never heard of such a thing.
Great jangling Jehovah!
Have my officers gorging themselves whilst I'm getting handed over. Now sit down.
But he's in the station. He can have a curly-whirly while he's at his desk.
Now, let's see if any of you can pick my pocket.
You're not going to do the elephant.
Oh my
Believe it, making me fish my curly-whirly out of my trousers. He's going potty, he is, you know. Fancy rushing out before work to buy a present for the Queen. But she never gets him anything.
Trying to trace missing credit cards.
Yeah, the deals are being done with stolen credit. Yeah. Pepperoni. Anchovies. Spicy sausage and chili.
Constable Cray, this is a bleeding nick, not a bleeding cafeteria.
Nothing for you then, sir?
No, nothing for me. Just a bit of cheesecake and a can of Diet Neat.
You've been going on about this all morning. He only pinched your Mars bar.
It was for her.
What?
That Mars bar was for the most beautiful, the most gorgeous woman who ever walked the earth.
You bought Gloria honey for the Mars bar.
Constable Habib! I bought Constable Habib a Mars bar. She likes Mars bars. I saw her eating one once.
I've seen her eating sausage, egg, chips, and beans. That doesn't mean if you buy a fry-up, you'll get your leg over. No, Maggie Habib's not a little girl. You can't win her with sweets.
True.
She's a woman. And if you want to impress a woman, you have to act like a man. That's right. She won't take any notice of you unless...
He's more camp than a raw fucking tent. I love him though. He's brilliant in this already. Brilliant. Gimme.
You're firm. That's how I treated my wife. Firm. One day I said to her, if I feel like stopping out drinking, I will. And what's more, I expect my dinner on the table when I get home.
She took notice of that, did she?
I don't know, I never saw her again.
What a surprise.
Again. What's the point of belonging to the emergency lost credit card instant speedy hotline if whenever you ring them, they're engaged?
Raymond, have you bought a birthday present for the Queen?
Yes, is there a problem?
When did you last buy me a present?
Why, on your last birthday, I believe.
A set of reversible spanners is not a present. It is a coded request to get a smack in the mouth. You idiot, Raymond. Police stations don't send loyal greetings to the monarch anymore. The Queen and her whole family have become a joke. You've only got to read the papers.
Get on with your work, Constable. I do not read the papers, Patricia. And therefore I do not suffer from the illusion that rumour, innuendo, and downright cheek constitute news. If you want to read something, then read a book. For there is more that is true and relevant in one page of Scott or Thackeray than in every newspaper ever printed.
You haven't read any Walter Scott in years. Or any flipping Thackeray. You read Biggles books! And you make slapping noises in your cocoa while you do it!
Is that true, sir?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps the tiniest gurgle.
No, I mean, do you still read Biggles? That's what my little brother's reading at the moment.
And he could do a very great deal worse. Because even Biggles has much to tell us that is true. About loyalty, courage, honour.
Gay love.
Yes? I beg your pardon.
Well, of course, sir. Biggles and Ginger are lovers. It's absolutely obvious. I think it's great they make such a positive image of a homosexual partnership.
Biggles and Ginger are comrades, Constable Habib. Comrades in arms.
Exactly.
I am stunned, Constable Habib. Absolutely stunned, and indeed distressed, that you choose to apply such a crass and puerile sexual connotation to innocent adventure yarns.
Oh, come on, sir. They're grown men. They must have a sexual life, but neither of them ever mention women. They bunk together, breakfast together. Biggles is always squeezing himself into Ginger's...
Cockpit.
Stop. It's obvious. It's the same with Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Two blokes sharing a flat. Sometimes it's months between cases. What do they get up to in the meantime?
They chat.
They chat. Oh, God. He's having his whole childhood ripped apart here.
They chat. They smoke their pipes. They poke the fire.
Look, sir, if Holmes and Watson are lovers, so what? Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes, Constable, there is. Because sex plays no part in these stories whatsoever.
Exactly.
Hetero or otherwise. The point of Biggles and of Sherlock Holmes is to solve crimes and kill Germans, and by heavens, that should be enough for any man. I'm taking up a collection for the Queen's birthday present.
Look,
God.
Raymond, you may have time for fannying about with presents and Biggles. Me and my officers are up to our necks in important detective work.
My officers and I.
What about?
Nothing about them. I'm simply informing you that the phrase is my officers and I, not me and my officers.
Is that so? Well, me and my officers are on the brink of tracking down a bank raid gang via credit card transactions, which is, I think, a bit more important than fannying about and speaking hoity-toity.
He likes fannying about, doesn't he?
Hoity-toity or otherwise, are there so that meaningful sentences can be formed and, more importantly, generally understood. Start stringing words together willy-nilly and it can lead to no end of confusion. Constable Gray, lend me your notebook. Look here. The criminal ran round my side and out the back at a colossal lick. Jumble up the words and suddenly you have the criminal licked out my colossal round backside.
Is that so? Well, try these words in a different order. Bugger and off. I mean, off and bugger.
The criminal licked out my backside and ran. That's... yeah. Try these in a different order. Bugger and off. I mean, off and bugger. Yeah, you've messed that one up, haven't you, mate?
Different order. Bugger and off. I mean, off and bugger.
Now remember what I said, Kevin. Act like a man. Be firm, be masterful.
So basically, just be myself.
No.
Hey, you! Jaywalking is a crime. Get back on the pavement. Get back on the pavement, please.
Would you mind telling me what...
Hang on a minute. Not this time. Crime's a disease. Meet the cure.
You're the one who needs a fucking cure, mate.
Helping me carry my shopping.
Oh, my...
Plums, Gran.
Don't be silly, love. I didn't buy any plums.
Exactly.
Hello? Is that the emergency lost credit card?
Seriously, how did he get a job in the police as a beat cop? I want to send him out to deal with a robbery of a florist.
Instant speedy hotline? Yes, I can hold.
Ah! No luck, eh?
Hello? Yes. Yes, I'd like to report the loss of my credit cards. Speedy hotline?
Right, it's 1:15 when he calls.
Yes, I can hold. Hello? Yes.
Now it's 25, nearly 20 to 2. Oh, dear.
Yes, I'd like to report the loss of my credit cards. First, however, I should like to point out that the words emergency, instant, and speedy have no place in your company title. Infuriating, yes. Tawdry, certainly. Absolutely blinking outrageous. Oh, I think so. No, madam, I will not accept your apology, because I do not believe that you mean it. I believe that you are indifferent to the fact that I've just had to listen to the Mull of Kintyre 7 times. Hello? Hello?
Here's a question for everybody then. You know, when you're making phone calls to whoever it may be, hold music. Do you prefer... Would you prefer for the hold music to be something that you enjoy listening to, or would you prefer silence? For me, I prefer silence. I couldn't care less if they played my custom playlist off fucking Spotify. You know, I'm not on the phone to have fun. You know, so, yeah.
Sir, I've traced that missing credit card. You're gonna love this.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, fine.
That's the worst beat I have ever been on. It was like being on patrol with a flipping 2-year-old.
Freak.
Look, he was a funny-looking old bloke hanging around at a school gate. I had to collar him.
Kevin, he was a lollipop man. Just keep out of my way for a while, okay? That's it. I'm just wasting my time. I think I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to leave the force.
Just had a call from the fire brigade. They're in the high street. A man is threatening suicide from the ledge of a tall building. I'm going to attend the scene myself.
Well, that'll make him jump if nothing else does.
Habib, I may require a woman officer. Kindly come with me.
Yes, sir.
True. Very helpful in those situations.
I reckon she hates me now. I reckon she thinks I'm a pranny.
Oh, yeah? How'd you work that out, then?
Well, it was something she said. She said, I hate you, Kevin. I think you're a pranny.
Look, you've got to grovel a bit, ain't you, eh? The birds love it. You've got to say, listen, doll, I was a real pillock. Then bung of the champagne and the chocolates and steam in for the bunker.
Right. Champagne and chocolates.
Yeah, it gets them every time, doesn't it? The draw dropper, the knicker stripper.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind coming in off this ledge?
What is it with men in those situations? Don't they realise that they have this amazing thing called a mouth and a brain that can make certain sounds come out of that mouth? They'll just say, here, here's a bottle of wine and a fucking bottle of straw. Man up.
Oh, you care about me now, do you? Nobody respects me now.
That's Kevin's dad out of Kevin and Perry, I've just noticed.
Nobody cares about me. I'm a nothing. A nobody.
I mean out of the sketch. Sketch is on the show, not the movie. I know in the movie it's a different actor.
Listen and alone.
But the same thing could be said about the Prime Minister. And he leads a full and active life.
It was John Major at this point, wasn't it?
Give me one good reason not to.
Before that prick Tony Blair ruined everything.
Dump.
All right, I will. That is a public pavement down there. Others have to use that pavement. And they should not be required to circumnavigate your pureed person in order to do so.
Can I speak to him, sir?
How?
Oh, very well. I seem to have exhausted my powers of persuasion.
What powers of persuasion?
Now, remember me? You say nobody cares about you. That's a lie. I decided to leave the police today. Because of you. And how we could do nothing to help.
Anyone ever been in this situation where you've had to, you know, talk? I have a couple of times. He's just what Fowler, isn't it? What Fowler just said, that's not going to help at all. He just made it 10 times worse. I'll always thank God, though, that it whatever I said on the times it worked. Whew.
True.
Yes, Constable Habib, isn't it?
Mind you, it was never on a ledge or anything, you know. So, but still.
It was true. But I can see now, it would just be running away. Just like you're running away now. The bloke who did your house over isn't going to make me run. And he shouldn't let him make you either. He can give you love, but he can't take your spirit. You have to give that away yourself.
For God's sake, man, what are you waiting for? I've never heard anything so well put in my entire life. Come on in off that ledge this instant. I was extremely proud of you today, Constable Habib. It wasn't your fault the silly fool jumped.
Inspector Fowler, you are under arrest.
I beg your pardon,
Huh?
Mr. Grimm.
A credit card belonging to you has been used to hire a car which was subsequently deployed in a drug deal.
You know damn well that my pocket was picked, my credit cards were taken.
Is that so? Well, it hasn't been reported stolen, has it, Craig?
No, sir.
So when did you discover the loss of this credit card, then, sir?
Well, this morning at the briefing,
And yet you still haven't reported it 8 hours later?
Well, I've been trying. They were engaged and
How's it feel to have someone being a bit clever and hoity-toity with you for a change, Raymond?
You got the bloke who nicked your card and the drugs, innit?
It's gonna look pretty amusing when it comes up on your statement. A stolen car plus £0.5 pound of heroin. You be a bit more careful in future.
Yes, thank you, Derek.
Inspector Grimm, there's been another burglary.
Sergeant Dawkins, how often do I have to tell you I'm a detective inspector? I don't bother with burglaries. Get uniform to go.
All right, Constable Habib, Inspector Grimm's house has just been burgled.
Wonder if he'll lose his self-esteem and try and kill himself.
He will when he realises it was a hoax. Do you know, sometimes I just can't read my own handwriting.
Extremely wrong, isn't it, Patricia?
Nice.
But he was probably going home anyway. Thank you.
Stuff it.
Afraid Sergeant Dawkins isn't very pleased with you, Inspector.
Really?
10th anniversary of our relationship and you didn't get me anything.
Well, I don't know why he sets such store by presents anyway, Pat. Personally, way a man thinks. When he's acting like a complete jerk, he can make it all right with a few chuckies and a bottle of champagne. I'd love a man who walked with chuckies and champagne. Well, maybe for an anniversary. But any bloke who thought he could buy my affections like that, I get a punch in the mouth. What do you want, Kevin? And what are you hiding behind your back?
Nothing. That is, except the chocolates and champagne, which I asked you to get for me while I was out at the suicide. Isn't that right, Judy? Well, hand them over then, Maddie. We can settle up later. Well now, cabbage.
Cabbage!
I have to confess that I'm more than little hurt that you could think I would forget our anniversary. Perhaps sometimes you...
Another thing that I want you to comment down. What's the strangest nickname that you've ever given to someone you've been in a relationship with, or that they've given to you? Comment them down below. I want to know them. Don't be embarrassed. It's not going to go any further. This will be on Patreon. You can put it on the YouTube as well. But yeah, if you feel comfortable with it. But I want to know. Go ahead.
Forget that I have feelings too.
I'm sorry, Peachy. To darling Maggie. Spelt with one G and a Y. Sorry about arresting the lollipop man. Any chance of a bunk up? Love, Kevin.
Do you think we got away with it?
What do you think? Oh my God! Well, there you go. That's the end. That was very, very funny. Any chance for a bunk up? Oh dear. Right, seriously, who's disliked that video? Who's disliked my Rick Mile tribute? Really? Anyway, yeah. I've mentioned it before in the last few weeks that over the course of the summer, if you can call it that. I mean, literally, on my phone weather app this morning, it was 5 degrees at about 5 o'clock in the morning. 8 degrees now, not even double figures, and it's not even 11 o'clock at night. 6, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's only going to get up to 12 tomorrow. 13 and 12 the day after, 13, 13, 13, 12, 14, 16, 16, 17. Yeah. So do what you can to improve the weather. Have a bonfire. Do whatever those climate idiots say causes global warming. It doesn't. But you never know. Anyway, yeah, great first episode. Really enjoyed it. It was really funny. Looking forward to going forward. Looking forward to doing more episodes of this. Yep. James Dreyfus' character is very funny. Rowan Atkinson, as always, very funny. Rudolph Walker talking about you have to be firm. I don't know. I never saw her again. Oh dear. Yeah, this is the sort of comedy that I enjoy. It's not, what's the word? It's not juvenile, it's not childish comedy like written for children, but you could watch this with your children. It's one of those, like, you remember how the films that we used to watch when the kids' films from the 70s and 80s, and the 90s. They were suitable for children, but there was a lot of hidden humour in those films for the parents who were watching the film with their children so they didn't get bored. You know, like the little cheeky, mild innuendo jokes that your 6-year-old son's never going to understand, but you do. It's like that, but a bit more blatant, you know. So I like it. It's, yeah, really enjoyed that. Found it really funny and entertaining. And I'm really looking forward to the next episode. So, yeah, there we go. New series has officially begun. Of course, it will go to Patreon first, and then over the next couple of weeks, when I've got a few episodes in the bag, start thinking about releasing them onto YouTube or Rumble. Probably Rumble first. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. So, thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, then, as I mentioned, it's a Patreon Early Access series. It might be an exclusive, I don't know, it depends on how it goes with copyright and things. But this will be available on the Patreon, so consider coming to join us over there. And it's the same with everything else, you know, the young ones. If you don't want to watch episodes of the young ones with that horrible writing on the screen in the background music ruining it for you, you can watch it on Patreon with clear, you know, nothing in the way, and the sound is just the sound of the episode and me, no music. It's the same with every other show on YouTube that's like that, with the writing and the music. So you've got You're Not Going Out, you've got Gimme Gimme Gimme, you know, all the series that, even the series that I've finished, they're all available on Patreon, unedited, so there's that too. I don't think I had to do it for Filthy Rich, did I? No. Did I? No writing, no music. Right, never mind that one then. But, you know, anything else not going out, still game, you know, things like that. The movie reactions, you know, like Jackass, they're all available on Patreon. Father Ted, that's another one. So consider coming to join us on the Patreon. There is a $1 a month tier, remember, and a 7-day free trial available in every tier, so you can try it for a week for free, see if you like it. So yeah, that's my request to you, that you come and join the Patreon and get access to everything in the best possible form for a very, very, very low price. You won't find any other reactor on YouTube that offers unedited content or exclusive content as cheap as I do. You just won't, because it's not possible. Patreon don't allow you to price a tier for less than $1 a month. It's not possible. You can't do it any cheaper. Every reaction channel on YouTube, if you click onto their Patreon and they have a $1 a month tier, I'm telling you now, the only thing that they allow you to do with that is to get access to announcements that they're starting this series, or they're going to do this movie tomorrow or next week, and the odd poll to vote for something to be started on YouTube in the future, but they won't give you content in that tier. I'm the only one that does it, I can promise you that. So, definitely worth the $1 a month. I think it's worth 20 pence a week, don't you? Yeah. So, consider that. Anyway, I'm going to go now, so thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.